Hi there, hello. We are so happy to welcome our guest, Marjorie Guttierez, to our Studio Roadshow today. I'm Caroline Sylvia Ragg from the Starflower Company, and we can't wait to find out a bit more about you, Marjorie, and what you've been doing. I know you've got a business called Smart Business Designs. That just sounds awesome. But before we go into that, I just want to say welcome. It's lovely to see you. And can you tell us a bit about your background, a bit about your transition from what we were talking about before, your 20 years career and where it's brought you. So I know it's full of colour, full of flavour, full of excitement. So I'm going to hand over to you. Can you share that with us?
Yes, well, thank you for having me. It's lovely to be chatting with you right now. My journey actually started 25 years ago when I decided to go on an adventure, and I lived in Mexico.
Wow.
And it started off as not knowing what to do, but within 10 months, I met people and I started an ecological travel business.
Oh, wow.
And it was very new for me, but I knew how business worked. So I just started structuring the business. I developed my own programs using, the internet at the time was fairly new.
A bit
map
dodgy, probably.
and trying to map out the places I couldn't barely even pronounce. And it was great. I found a niche market. Being an expat myself, I had access to a lot of expat communities, and that's where I started promoting.
Fantastic.
And from there, it grew. The business grew very quite well. And on to the second year, I had programs running for a full year.
Wow.
And then from there, I was invited to work in the UK, and I've been here for the last 20 years, off and on, working between London and New York for a fine art shipping company. And the task, I was moved to New York based on my experience running a business. And the next step when I came back to the UK was to, go self-employed and work for myself.
That's incredible. And, I know you're being a bit modest here in what you actually did when you were invited to work for this fine art shipping company, and how you actually managed to increase their profitability and change the infrastructure of their business. Tell us a bit more about that, and then we'll come on to what you're doing now.
Yes, well, we were invited as a team, a management team, to move to New York, where the task was to turn the company around. So my part was managing the cash flow and putting structure in a lot of the processes, the sales, and working together with operations. And we succeeded in after 3 years from moving from a small warehouse for 10,000 square feet. I don't know what that is in meters, and moving into a 35,000 square feet. So that was quite an achievement.
I mean, that's incredible, because I know, when we were chatting earlier, you said when you actually arrived in New York, it wasn't as it seemed, and you nearly wanted to take the plane coming right back. Is that right?
I know. Yes. It's it's all coming back.
Yeah.
Yes. It was a daunting experience,
Wow.
walking into an office of complete disarray and having to make a decision whether to stay or take up the challenge. And I didn't take a long time for me to decide. I was there on a mission.
Wow.
And I made sure the mission was to get organized structure, as you know. That's the foundation of every good business.
That's incredible. And it was definitely mission accomplished, because, you took up the challenge, but not only that, you were determined, and you absolutely flipped that business around to profit. And that's a true sign of an entrepreneur. And it's just, incredible, your journey. And I know it's got full of international flair, and you do work globally. But tell us a bit more about how you chose your niche in what you're doing now.
Well, when I came back to the UK, I decided to, I was trying to figure out what to do next. And being an entrepreneur, I've always I was born an entrepreneur. I knew the next step would be to work for myself. And it was very different working for a company and then working for me. But all I knew is that getting structured was the start of it. And from there, the niche is something that you continuously work on.
Absolutely.
You think you want to work with certain type of industry or businesses, but I've always worked with small businesses. That was my market. But the niche from that small business has changed, evolved over the last 3 years.
Yeah, amazing. And I know you've got property experience, helping a lot of property developers, property investors. So did that help you make that decision in wanting to be more of an entrepreneur and put your skills and expertise back into other organisations?
I think it was more the independence, the freedom, having different income streams is an attraction. Getting to know people's businesses, I think, is the passion.
It's great, isn't it? It's
it is.
Finding out more about them and
yes, and what makes me unique is that I don't tell people what to do. That's not what coaching is all about. I see it more visually as, sitting around on a table, around the table, spreading the whole project out. How do you call it? On top, and just going through the process.
Like a blueprint.
Like a blueprint, and holding them, bouncing off ideas, and building their business together. So it's not just, it's not as a coach, a client. It's basically like a partnership. They own their business, but you're part of it. So you grow their business every step of the way. And I think that makes me unique because I see beyond the box.
Yes, yeah, and that's quite magical, and that's where people get the results. And I've heard you known as a business builder, which is quite different, isn't it, to what we would hear of a business coach talking, even though I know you have coaching experience and you've got NLP experience as well, which helps with the psychological side and the infrastructure side. So how did you create your program from that?
Well, it wasn't all from me. I myself looked for a marketing coach. I worked with a career coach, a business coach. I'm part of an entrepreneur community. So you can't do this alone. You need people around you.
Absolutely.
That create that, a business. So being a business builder isn't a one-man show. And people think a lot of the coaching side is mindset when it's not.
No.
Apart from the mindset is a part of it, but mostly you have to have the basis of a structure, you have the basis of processes, and you have to have that vision. Your clients need to have that vision and clarity as to what they're doing, because often people think they have an idea and it's a business, and sometimes it's not.
And no, exactly. And then it doesn't come to fruition, and they get upset, and then they put money into something that isn't actually a good business idea. So what's the first thing you would do when you're chatting with a company? Do you have a process that you use?
I do. I always encourage them not to invest immediately, but do a diagnostics.
Okay, fantastic.
It's a very, very focused. You ask the questions, you get the clarity from them. You're not telling them what to say or putting thoughts into their mind, but you're guiding them to tell you what's on their mind, and then from there, you see what the opportunities are. Is it a business? Is it something that should remain a hobby, or does it have potential for growth? So while they're telling you what's in their mind, you're going through the process in your own mind, where you can see it growing.
That's amazing. I love the idea of a diagnostics. You hear about a diagnostics for a car or an engine, or diagnosing something that may have been faulty, but I suppose comparing that to a business, it's really, really important to unpick all of those areas that either are not working, that are stagnant potentially, or that are not moving forward. So I think this is amazing, you know, that you provide this diagnostics for businesses. So, you know, what other services do you offer to businesses as well, to business owners, people who are wanting to really stand out from the crowd, I suppose, but also have that sustainable infrastructure in place?
Well, a lot of, you know, most businesses are in different stages. I like working with businesses that have already been in business for 1 year, because then they have the figures to
Right.
back up what they're doing. And then from there, you look at how they're doing, whether what their goals are met financially with what they're offering. So then you go through step by step. I have several programs that I custom tailor to their needs. So it's not a cookie cutter program that you sell. You sell and promote. You literally have to go through what the requirements are, because you don't want to offer them too little or too much, and it's not what they need. So you are a business partner, so their success is part of your success.
That's incredible. So it's very bespoke.
Yes.
The way you work. And then obviously your international experience, are you working with people globally at the moment?
I promote my programs, globally. I had a lady from New Zealand, but she lives in Turkey.
Oh, wow.
Was moving to South America. So yes, you get to meet all kinds of people. It's interesting. More and more people want to work for themselves because of the freedom, the independence, and you know, there's a lot of business out there.
So you could help businesses with their business planning as well.
That's right. Business planning, financials. I do NLP now that I also do NLP. I coach with. I put the NLP part into the business building, and it works very well.
What a great tool. What a great tool to add to your portfolio. I mean, what an incredible portfolio. So, you know, for people watching us and listening into us today, why would they choose you as a business builder coach rather than another coach? I know that's a bit of probably a pedantic question, because obviously, of course, they should choose you, because you're amazing, and I've seen the results that clients get from you. What is your differentiator? What would you say makes you stand out so they need to call you?
I've got a great personality.
Of course.
That's not the only one. That's not the only selling point I have, but I'm passionate about business.
Yes.
And when someone needs work, as I said, we work together. We work together, we look at what needs to be done. And it's not just about coaching, it's not just about getting paid for your product, it's actually making sure there is success. Yes. What is a unique selling point? You know, when I worked in New York, it speaks for itself. We moved from a little warehouse to a big warehouse, and there was a lot of work involved in that. It wasn't just coming in and sweeping it up and building it. It was a lot of changes, a lot of, you know, even staffing, HR, all that came into play. And passion.
A passion, obviously, and a very skilled negotiator,
yes.
I would say. So it does give you that cut above, I think, other professionals in the field that you're in, and it gives the businesses investing in you that edge in getting their business to move forward. I can see the passion. I've seen the work that you've done, Marjorie. So this is just so fantastic finding out more about you. Tell us how we can get in touch with you.
Well, my business is called Smart Business Design.
Wow, that's a good
for
name.
easy to remember.
Yes.
An email if you need more information. I've got, you know, you can book a discovery call.
Yeah.
So the best way to contact me is Marjorie, which is Marjorie at Smart Business Designs. Don't forget the S.com.
Brilliant. And a website?
It's in work in progress.
That's fine. But I'm assuming that's smartbusinessdesigns.com.
Yes.
So that's great. And yes, so watch this space. This is coming soon. I can't wait to see that. So Smart Business Designs, love the name. love your personality. I think you've got great potential to help so many businesses out there looking for the right advice, consultant, coach, diagnostic. Don't forget to book your diagnostics, because diagnostics are the best way to get you to unpick the business and find out more. Do you want to say anything just to close, Marjorie?
You know, if you're at the point where you've got a business idea, you've got a business running, and you want to know what the next steps will be, it's a low investment. Get your diagnostics, get your breakthrough. I think that's the best way. Then from there, you know what to do next.
Fantastic.
So it's you know, I can't recommend it enough. It's really, you know, I've seen the results from clients who are doing the diagnostics. It's helped them move forward to better things, you know, whatever their decision was at the end, it actually helped give them clarity.
Fantastic. And clarity is the word, and
Yes.
and that's amazing. It's been an absolute pleasure to chat with you today,
Yes.
Marjorie. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, finding out more about you and your global connections and contacts, and a true superstar in your field of expertise. So I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yes, and thank you, Caroline.
Bye for now. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you.